hunters are blue and dead, like they came straight out the cemetery. And I like red on the coupe, just like the heart I left way back in February. Haters don't know what to do, they tryna read me, but I'm not the library. I don't just wanna be great, nigga, I wanna be legendary. All of my hunters are blue and dead, like they came straight out the cemetery. And I like red on the coupe, just like the heart I left.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's episode of the Raw Truth Podcast. We're doing something a little bit different today since it is the last show of the year. We figured the only way to go out is by having an interview with the Rap Thanos himself, the man, the myth, the legend, Raw Truth himself. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let the interview begin. How you doing today, Truth?
I'm good, Amelia. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you very much. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to interview you today. I hope that
You,
you're ready.
I'm ready. I'm ready. We're gonna have a good show. We're doing it a little different. We're doing it DJ Vlad style with Amelia being DJ Vlad,
I'm just not as messy as he is.
DJ Amelia. You know what I mean? But yeah, I kind of like this look that Amelia put together, and so if there's not a lot of us together, well, you probably gonna see this look a lot more. So, with
Mhm.
that being said, where we getting into first? I think we're gonna do the raw rumors, correct?
We are definitely going to get into raw rumors first. It's one of my favorite segments, not because I'm messy, just because I like to keep people informed on everything that's going on in the streets. So, we're going to talk about the one that really has my attention right now is the triangle between Papoose, Remy Ma, and Clarissa Shields.
Mm.
So we all know that Papoose and Remy Ma were married. They have one daughter between them. Remy Ma, caught Fed time and she went to prison, and Papoose held her down while she was in prison. When she got out, I'm not going to necessarily say she was feeling herself, but being a part of the underground rap battle scene, she became attached to another battle rapper. And their marriage pretty much has started to deteriorate in the public eye. And all shit hit the fan when Papoose had started dating Clarissa Shields,
Mm.
and she's a boxer.
She is. She world champion.
Mm, mm. Well, they pouring tea for everybody, and it's hot, baby. I would love to know. Well, before I say that, I will say this. This situation, as far as Remy and Papoose and being held down while you're locked up, has been heavily compared to Gucci when he was locked up and he left his wife, with a bag. And when he came back, it multiplied
Right.
tremendously. So not only did he have the money, he had the endorsements and different business deals as well. But when Remy Ma was released, she just had Papoose. That was it. Don't laugh like
So
that.
she just had
I
papoose.
mean, that's all that was. There were no endorsements, there were no business deals. I don't know the type of money that they brought in. I know that lyrically, Papoose is absolutely amazing. They also say that Papoose has been a ghostwriter for Remy Ma in times past. I haven't heard anything new that she's put out, but I did hear Clarissa Shields had a rap for Remy Ma.
Oh Lord. And I
What?
I heard it too, and I was not impressed by the thing. All right, look. So um, how I feel about it is like Remy Ma ain't put out nothing relevant since she dissed Nicki Minaj, and that was a hard diss though. Like it was good.
It was great.
Yeah, but the thing is I feel like Remy Ma acted like I don't know, like exactly what her feelings are or whatever, but it seems like she basically came out and just expected for there to be um it's like she came out hey, can y'all turn that down, whatever that is, please? Who is that? Okay, thanks. All right, close the door. All right, so going back to what I was saying. Um Long story short, I feel like Papoose um is like a legendary lyricist. He's not broke. I mean, you see him, he's still they're not even together and he still looks better off, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Uh Like what was he supposed to have waiting for her? Like, I mean, she didn't have a net worth to leave with him. She wasn't a
I don't know if
multi-millionaire.
he
Like,
had a Chanel bag or if they were talking about a bag of money or something like that. But they said that when she got it, it was just papoose. I mean, and that's cool in itself because a lot of dudes will not hold down a female while she locked up. He's
right,
definitely gonna be poking something.
and also think of it this way: what she would have had if it would have been vice versa. She would have just had Remy Ma.
I mean, you don't know.
Just having somebody waiting for you when you get out, I feel like is good enough. Like, I don't feel like it's their responsibility to create a multi-million-dollar empire when you're gone. Sometimes it works like that, like with Gucci and I think it was Keisha Dior that he's with, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you know what I mean? They You could tell by their relationship that they really value each other. Like, I never got that vibe about Papoose and Remy Ma. I always felt Remy Ma was kind of already kind of like a dirty little
You felt that she was in the potential.
scumbag. Yeah,
Damn.
yeah. I feel like she
Especially.
was always a little scumbag. Yeah, and then I feel like Papoose. I never really. I
Oh,
listened to him, but I mean, nobody's screaming like, "Yo, throw on that new Papoose." Like, that never happens. None of us ever say that. It's like he's a bar god. He's not a good artist, in my opinion. You know what I mean? But a lot of people think I'm not a good artist. So, values
he's
in
an
the eye of the
underground
beholder.
artist. A
Oh
lot of
man,
people aren't into the underground scene.
no, not at all. So how I feel is, I feel like Remy Ma really started that shit though, because it's like if you really don't care, like you said, and you done moved on, it's like Papoose never said shit about you. Like, he never engages you online like that until this very last time. Besides that, okay, she was fucking a battle rapper named what's that motherfucker name? Easy the Block Captain, right?
They said he looked like one of the wild rabbits.
Boy, listen, when I looked at when I he looked like a Fifo Goes West. Like,
Damn.
man, he got like a rat mouth, and he definitely really ain't got shit going on. I mean, he's not even a premier battle rapper like that. You know what I mean?
That's wild.
It's like fucking a mid card.
That's wild.
Yeah, like, it's definitely, I would consider, a downgrade from, but I think the biggest problem is everybody kept looking up to Remy Ma and Papoose as like the example of black
Yeah.
love and shit. It's like they
Goals.
never said that they were, they never asked for that responsibility. Like, oh yeah, that's exactly what he looked like too. Boy, hey, hold on, let me show him. Really? Easy to block, Captain, man. He done jumped in on, look, chat. Easy to block, Captain. There he is. That's who Remy Ma was fucking over
Oh my
Papoose.
gosh.
Man,
You're
damn.
I'm sick of you. All
But
right.
yeah, so um and I feel like Easy to Block Cap is definitely an opportunist because he used that,
Mm-hmm.
the rumors of them fucking around,
Mm-hmm.
because she would come to his rap battles. So of course he make it look like they fucking around for real, for real. Like, if nobody knew, they gonna know after this nigga opened his big ass mouth that shit.
Well,
So it's
that's
like,
true. Because we all know now.
yeah, I feel like Clarissa Shields is really like the coolest in the situation though, because
That's because she can beat
she ain't
everybody
fighting
the
over
fuck
dick
up.
though. She told Remy
She
Ma,
made that crystal clear.
yeah, she made that crystal clear. Like, this nigga don't. I'm not fighting over him. But I will knock your shit in over
The
disrespecting me.
disrespect.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I like Clarissa Shields in that situation. I think Papoose,
Was afraid of
he really
getting
should
beat up.
just get with Clarissa Shields at this point. Like, I mean,
And what purpose would that serve?
I don't know, revenge. Like, what do you call it? Revenge dating, I
I
guess.
tell you what,
Just,
just chill. That tea just went cold.
I
No, we're not doing
mean,
that.
the thing is Remy Ma will hate it worse if he's with a chick that levels him up.
So why are you worried about what she thinks? He should just do what make him happy, but he may not want to be in a relationship with Clarissa, and
He
that's
might
just
not, but I'm just saying, yo, if you trying to piss Remy Ma off though, that's the way to
shit. They
go.
already did that.
Just get in and then keep
I'm
Clarissa
sick of
Shields
you.
fanning that flame. Cause one thing Remy Ma's not gonna do ever in her fucking life is meet up with Clarissa Shields face to face and say anything. I can guarantee you that.
Mm.
Clarissa Shields fuck around and could knock out half of the welterweight male boxers. You know what I mean? Like, I've watched her
That's
fight.
insane.
She's savage. Like she looked like she hit like she got some bricks in her fucking boxing glove.
Well, shout out to Clarissa Shields.
Shout out to
You know,
Clarissa Shields.
Remy Ma, keep your head up. Papoose, stay
Nah, we
petty,
just
my
not gonna
friend.
shout out Remy Ma.
I shout it out all the time. I am impartial.
Yeah.
Okay.
Papoose, boy, level up, baby, level up.
We're going to now move into the segment of the show called Raw Politics. And this one, it causes a little controversy among some people because everyone isn't always in agreement.
Mm.
So, yeah. Just got some bad news today about Jimmy Carter, the oldest president of the United States. He actually passed today at the age of 100.
Mm.
That's a long time. He was also not only the U.S. president, but also a Nobel Peace Prize winner. So, condolences to his family and anyone who's taking that, to heart. So, rest in peace to Jimmy Carter.
Yeah, man. Shouts out to Jimmy Carter. Like, I'm not gonna sit here in front like I know every little thing he did. He was before my time, but um, I mean, I heard a lot of good things about him. Isn't his wife damn near as old as him? I think she's still alive too, isn't she? That is Jimmy Carter when they took a shot at, or is that Nixon?
I think that was Nixon.
Okay. You sure Jimmy
I
Carter?
know it was Jimmy Carter. Nixon is army.
I want to look that up real quick, just for people that don't know.
While you looking that up, I'm gonna talk about your favorite person in the whole wide world.
Oh yeah, okay, go for it.
Yeah, Donald Trump.
My
With his
boy.
planet. See, there you go.
My boy.
I was watching and paying attention. Screw that. I don't even like Donald Trump. I don't. And strictly
why?
I'm gonna tell
Give
you
me
why.
one good reason.
Because of the role
And
that he
don't
played.
say nothing about he's racist, because I'm gonna tell you,
But I am
show
gonna
me
tell you that he is
but
racist.
show me one video where he says anything
You
racist.
want me to tell
Or
you?
is he just calling a spade and people's vaginas are getting hurt?
Oh
Not
my
yours,
God,
but
because
you
I
know
was
what
gonna
I'm
say
saying?
my vagina doesn't
I'm just
hurt.
saying I've literally and I have went to great extents to go back and watch all his interviews, because obviously I came up in the black community. I have black kids. Um, I don't want to support somebody that if I really think that they're racist. You know what I'm saying?
Have 3 words for you.
What?
Central Park 5.
But that just has to do with somebody that don't want to be wrong. How many times you found out you were wrong about something, and rather than just admit you were wrong about it, just keep on fucking doubling down on it? I don't know about you,
We're
but
gonna go back to vaginas.
most human beings I know, if you get proven wrong about something, you got two ways you can go with
eat
it.
crow.
You can either eat shit and say, look, I was wrong. I'm sorry. I was uneducated. Or you could just be like, no, I was right, and just keep on going.
And so
I'm
even
not
though
saying he's a good person. He
well
is a
shit,
piece of
we know
shit.
that.
He is a piece of shit. But what I'm saying is when you're talking about the lesser of evils in the world, I know a lot more people that are a lot more evil and ineffective than Trump is, especially U.S. presidents.
I don't know how to tell you. I don't care. I don't like him. And even if that's the case, if he was wrong and he just didn't want to admit he was wrong, even when he was campaigning, he still made incorrect and racist comments towards the Central Park Five while he was campaigning.
Look
In
them
order
up.
to,
Let's look them up and see what exactly did he say. Because I hate I hate speaking on behalf of somebody when he if there's not a video of him saying it or anybody else, I try not to harper on that, because I've had so many people said I said shit that I did not say at all, first off,
did
or
this okay.
they don't interpret it a different way. I say just go for the quotes. We ain't got to look up videos.
So what I'm saying is, did the Central Park Five plead guilty in the case of
You will. This is why I'm glad you're on the show. On
the
the show
answer is
today.
no. No, they didn't.
Okay.
But when you talk about crime and crime rates and what's the word that I'm looking for? It's going to come back to me. Even if you do go to demographics, when you're campaigning and and we all know that he has said things that are crazy and go against the grain, but to sit here and say that they all pled guilty, because I think that it came up in a press conference when they asked him about the Central Park Five, and he was like, "Oh yeah, they all pled guilty."
Mhm.
Fuck, they didn't.
But let me stop you right there. Right? Agreed. But let me ask you this: how many of us are guilty of thinking we know some shit because we read too many tabloids.
He printed flyers.
But why would he? Let me ask you a question. How do you know he ain't just believing what he hears from his friends, or he? How do you know he's not fact checking when none of us fucking fact check? Of course he didn't fact check. So he's just as guilty as any of us on a daily basis. Like, how many times do people spew garbage out their mouth that with 2 seconds of fact checking they wouldn't even make that comment?
Mm,
If Trump already shows a potency for being an idiot, why would we
definitely
expect
an
him
idiot.
not to believe
So
just
why the fuck
anything
would you
his rich
keep
friends are
putting an
saying?
idiot in office?
I mean, who's a bigger idiot, Biden or Trump? Seriously. No, seriously.
This man can't run a business, even though America is a business. But Trump has proven that he can't even run a business
Why do
effectively.
you say that?
Hell, because
Because he's filed bankruptcy?
no, because he has businesses that are failed. I don't give a damn about a bankruptcy because that's just the
It's
financial
the
aspect.
bankruptcy is just a game. You
I
know what
don't.
I mean? That's just
I know that when
a
it comes to
freeway.
the financial
I know
aspect,
a lot of people that claim bankruptcy and literally they're fucking loaded.
just so that they don't have to,
Just
pay
part of the
on
game.
the debts
50
and
did
things
it.
like that.
Game did it to avoid paying a judgment for that sexual assault that he got judged against. Yeah, you didn't hear about that?
Hell,
That dude still owes $7 million to one of them
okay.
chicks.
Well,
This is all I'm gonna say. Look,
talking about Trump, we'll move away from the Central Park Five, and we'll go into all the promises that he made while he was campaigning. One of them being lower grocery prices, because there's no way in fuck that a box of cereal costs $6 at the
but
store.
how is that his fault? Inflation
He
happened on
said that
Biden's
he
watch.
said that he could lower the price of groceries, that he would lower the price of
But you
groceries.
understand also when you get elected in November, you don't have any decision making until January 21st.
Do you
He's
understand?
not
Did you
the
hear what you
acting
just said?
president right now.
Even if he was the president, it's still not his decision. He does what they tell him to do.
I don't feel that way.
I do.
I feel like Trump's a wild card, and that's why
Trump is a
he's
wildfire.
he's
He's not
think
a
about it
wild
this way.
card.
You know how Biden's son, I mean, do you have any
When he pardoned him,
did you look and see the shit he was convicted of? The shit that was on his laptop? This dude had multiple firearms and drugs together. Yo, this dude here, what's his name? Biden Trump or what is the name?
Biden.
Biden's son. What's that dude's name?
Hell, Biden's
This
son.
dude's a literal just he's out of there. I've seen a video of him in a hotel room refusing to pay a prostitute, right? So
Tell the truth. Would you pay her?
no, I
Okay,
wouldn't.
so that argument is null and
Bro,
void.
listen. First of all, I'm not the type. I've never been a back
No,
page
I
boy.
just asked you a question.
But if
You
I
said it's a
was,
video. You were
if I
talking
was,
negatively.
listen, if I was, and I was, no, because I want to go off the rails now that
I
you
was
said
just trying
that.
to see, would you pay her?
If I was a paying customer and I wasn't married and all that shit, if somebody could convince me that I needed to pay when I look like this, you know what I mean? If
Really?
somebody could convince me, nah, I would just hit and then split.
Split.
Yeah,
But you want him
boy,
to put the bill.
I be running out the door with my pants around my ankles, sprinting for the car. Be like, I
You ain't
ain't
gonna make it
paying,
very far.
man. I'm not paying. Listen,
You ain't never tell nobody to get you a cup of water and then dipped on them. Oh, I'm thirsty.
nah,
You just gonna
you
run
know
with your
what I
pants at
have
your
done
ankles.
though? I went to that damn Dairy Queen drive-through, and I ordered some shit and was expecting the price to be a certain thing, and felt so disrespected when I got the total for one fucking combo and an ice cream. The moment I buy it, I literally pull around and just pull right off. So they're gonna make the food anyways, but I'm not gonna pay for it. Which me being in the food industry, I mean, I know that's foul. It's not their fault, but the audacity for a belt buster and fries, we talking about $15 now. Like
What?
$15. Listen, I agree with you on inflation and food
What
costs and all
was
that.
came with it?
Nothing. A goddamn
It was just a
fry
burger and a
and a
fry.
burger. Yeah. And the thing about inflation is
Oh my god.
no presidents control that. The Federal Reserve really controls that. They're the ones that set the interest rates
So I say that you can do something that you can't do.
because Trump could always do what JFK was about to do, which is what I believe got him
Was
assassinated
about to do, but didn't do.
because he got murdered a week after. And
Who do you
Trump
think
has,
murdered him?
the
Mhm.
CIA.
Okay.
Let me tell you why. Because on his last address, when he addressed the nation, he said two crazy ass things that I can't even believe were able to make it on TV. One was he basically pleaded to the media. He says, "Listen, there are things in here, secret societies. Like we could pull the video up,
Mhm.
and he literally uses the word secret societies that I have no control over." And he says, "That's why I need the media to help me expose them. They're inside here with me." And then he had also said one of the things that he was going to do was put us back on a gold standard, which means we're the world's background currency right now. So we could just print money that doesn't exist. No other country in the world's allowed to do that. You know what I mean? We're the only ones because we're the world's currency right
Mhm.
now. But he
Mhm.
said during that time, he says, "Listen, that's why we have such tremendous debt too. If we go back and we just purchase gold, it's basically every single dollar has a chunk of gold that matches it in a vault somewhere. It's a real tangible asset. So that our dollar means something because anybody that buys or use our money knows for a fact that we have that backed up in gold. And they don't think we're just printing it off of a fucking printer every time we run out. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And when JFK said he was going to do away with the Federal Reserve, like when you talk about like the lower levels of the Illuminati, that's who you're talking about is the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve, if you even go back farther than the Federal Reserve,
Mhm.
it goes back into like Rothschild banking. You know
Yes.
what I mean? The Rockefellers, and those were the very first people ever in history. Those were the people that woke up one day when
The
cavemen
foundation,
was running around
the
and they were
founding
like,
fathers, so to
right.
speak.
Because think about it, what was the difference? Where did people start formulating order out of? It all started with banking. You know what I mean? You can't just take, let's say I want to do a deal with you, right? And
Mhm.
I'm like, okay, when crop harvest comes, I'm going to give you 2,000 pounds of corn. And in return, you're going to pay me for that, however much pumpkins or whatever,
Mm.
right? You can't just make the deal and handshake on it like that. You got to have something
Oh, so
tangible.
your word don't mean shit.
No,
Just
it
checking.
never did. Nobody's really not
I'm
in
just
business.
checking.
That's where the contracts come or tangible monies. So I think the very first bankers actually used sticks. Like they would find pretty sticks, make them look nice, cut them down short, and each stick was worth
A
a
certain amount.
certain amount. So it would basically be like, here's four of my sticks. That equals, 1,000 pounds of crop each. You could come cash these out with me when crop season comes. And then the person on the other end would get, it's just IOUs basically. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? So whenever a third party came in and says, this stick shit's cool, but there's a better way to do this. And that's when you started going into precious metals. Let's mint precious metals because then the money is in your hand now.
Okay.
Because if somebody burns off on you, this is silver. This can be melted down and used for this, this, and this. So JFK wanted to go back to that standard. But the problem with that is you kick out a bloodline of people that have dominated this earth
Mm-hmm.
since before Christ. You know what I mean? The banking industry is probably like you should fear only God, the feds, and the banks.
Gotcha. So before we go down this rabbit hole, I'm gonna cut this one off. But
Mhm.
it says a lot about you. You know a whole lot, don't
Girl, I spent like 12 years in a row going down a rabbit hole. I could not stop. It was like every day for 12 years. And
you?
then I
Mhm.
found out so much shit. Like, imagine really dedicating yourself every day for 12 years trying to find the worst of the worst of the worst to see what is reality really, because we're living in like a matrix, right? It's like some people are woke and they know if they're biting into a, remember when he was biting into the lamb, he was like,
Mhm.
yo, I know this isn't a steak. I know I'm really connected to a computer somewhere. It's just telling me it's a steak, but you know
Yeah.
what, ignorance is bliss. I don't care. And that's what I feel like we are nowadays. It's like all of the original truths have been buried down so far. Like as time goes on, that's what these are for. It's to steer you farther away from the shit that really matters. And I got to the point where I'm just like, nobody wants to hear it anyways. Nobody, like, just think about it this way. If you knew,
Mm.
let's say if you believe in Jesus, right? And you knew the rapture was
Mm.
coming in 2 years and you knew the day that it was coming. I mean, what can you do about it? So you don't want to spend the last 2 years just talking about that shit every day. You're gonna be out hitting
Trying to
your
do it.
bucket list and
Yep.
shit. That's kind of where I got. I was like, yo, I'm wasting too much time and effort on this. And not only that, this shit is depressing me. I grew up putting my hand on my heart in school and saying the
With the
Pledge of
Pledge of
Allegiance. And
Allegiance.
yeah, like if there was one thing I trusted when I was a kid was the United States government. Like had no idea how far that shit spirals into corruption and just horrible shit. Like we've done more damage as a country to other countries. That's why nobody feels bad for us. Like we kind of deserve everything we get. Like we're always butting our nose into other people's fucking business. We're always liberating people, or we're coming in the thoughts of
Except for her.
liberation. But yeah, we just wipe them out and take their oil. I
Mhm.
mean, this is a proven. It happens every time. We did it to Iraq. We did it to Syria. Like Iraq, before they went after Saddam Hussein like that, which was dumb. Go ahead. Oh yeah. Uh, just to wrap that point up, Iraq was like a world tourist destination before they displaced Saddam Hussein. So, and now you've seen what happened after that. Al Qaeda and Taliban. That would have never happened if they would have never took him out of power.
You're likely right. I noticed a correlation,
Right.
but I'm going to ask you about that later. Just remember this very moment, okay?
Yeah.
All right, cool. We're not going to miss that. And so I know, you are all things
Our favorite
MMA.
segment. Our favorite
So it
segment.
is time for Raw MMA with Raw
MMA
Truth.
with Raw Truth. Okay, so this week's segment, I don't have much news on MMA. I know we would normally play y'all video, just kind of recapping everything. There wasn't really nothing that happened this weekend, but last weekend we're gonna talk about the Tyson Fury versus Usyk part two. So if you remember the first fight, um, Tyson Fury kind of just got taken apart in the later rounds, and really got beat the fuck up. You know what I mean? Which I just wasn't expecting Usyk to be able to do that. Like to put it into perspective for you, Tyson Fury's 6'9". Usyk is like 6'2", my size. A little bit shorter than me. So, and he's not just. He doesn't even look like a heavyweight to me. And he's fighting this giant in Tyson Fury. And I just felt like Tyson Fury should have been able to dispatch him in 2 or 3 rounds. It didn't happen the first time, and then towards the end, I mean, Usyk just started landing ridiculous shots, and he was out on his feet. So there was a rematch clause in there. Fury didn't sign the contract without there being a rematch clause if he loses. So
Mhm.
to bring you up to speed, because I know you don't really keep up with it.
Say that.
So the last truly undisputed heavyweight champion, that means you have all the belts, including the linear heavyweight championship, which is a figurative championship. It's not an actual belt. It just means you were the last person that beat the man that had all of the belts, which made you the linear heavyweight champion.
Mhm.
So Fury beat the Klitschko, I think Vitali, and took all those belts years ago. And Fury he was dominating. He was undefeated. He was like 25-0, has all the belts, and then gets into the party lifestyle. I mean, and he was wilding out. You want to talk about somebody that was probably like Tony Montana dumping the powder on the thing? You want to go to war? Let's go to war. We're taking to war. That was Tyson Fury. But he was about to lose his family, his wife, everything because he was wilding out so bad. So he literally dispelled all the belts. He gave all the belts and he retired temporarily.
Mm.
And then another thing, he was a big sloppy ass 6'9" motherfucker too. I mean, he's
Not
built like
sloppy.
he was a big sloppy ass white boy. And so what was cool about that situation though is imagine all those drugs he was addicted to and that lifestyle, like what Conor McGregor's going through right now. He can't get back into the octagon because it's hard to find a reason to get up and fight and get your shit caved in anymore when you're waking up on silk bedspreads. You know what I mean? Like it's hard to get up at 5 a.m. and put your 35-year-old body through rigorous training when for what? You're 100 M's up, So kind of is the same thing Fury was walking into. So Fury gives everything away, and then starts going on like a health and mental journey. And I think he was gone for like 4 years. Then he comes back and goes and gets all the fucking belts again. I mean,
Yeah.
for me, he was like a hero to me. he still kind of is like a hero to me. Tyson Fury is, and he's one of the only sports figures you see that still acknowledge the name of Jesus Christ. Like he says it, he promotes it. Uh, and I'm a believer myself, so I like that. You know, he goes against the grain, and he's a great shit talker. But you know, I felt like after he lost to Usyk that first time, it's like his mystique's gone because he was 33-0. Now he's done lost. Now he's not like the dude that you're like, man, this dude was never gonna lose.
Shit.
And then he fights Usyk again last weekend, and I just felt like they say it was a controversial split decision. Like nobody gave no judges gave Tyson Fury none of the last 5 or 6 rounds, which I felt like that was kind of debatable. I saw that he won like 2 of them, but yep. So that's where we're at. Tyson Fury lost again,
Mm-mm.
lost all the belts, and that makes Usyk now the newest lineal heavyweight champion. He has every single heavyweight belt there is, and he beat the man that had all the belts, what makes him the lineal heavyweight champion. So shouts out to Usyk. He's a weird little Russian looking dude. He kind of looked like a rat, you know, like boy, he kind of like I'm not calling them rats. It's just like I know I have a gap too, but I'm correcting that problem. But nah, his gap is like a walrus gap, and he just got a shaved head. I mean, I would have mistaken him for a fucking SS officer if
That's
if he
crazy.
wasn't from Russia. You know what I mean? But
That's crazy.
yeah, so shouts out to Usyk's
Mhm.
little weird ass though, man.
So we are now going to step into one of my favorite parts of the podcast,
Oh
which
man.
is proper grammar. So proper grammar. I was issued a challenge this week. Last week, I gave Truth a song by Bia, one that he liked,
Hmm.
that he knew, and so in turn, he gave me a song called "Hood Rats" by Sukiana featuring Sexy Red. I am going to
Suckiana.
I am going
Suckiana.
to give you the original lyrics to the song, and then he is going to give you the proper grammar version of the song. So,
Absolutely.
oh God. And I'm gonna tell you the truth, I don't like neither one of these guys. I
I'm
don't like
looking
neither one of these
forward.
girls.
I'm really looking forward to this one. This is the first time that I did not write a proper grammar for somebody to say, and I'm on the other end where I get to read the ridiculousness that's
Were
gonna
you
come.
nervous?
I'm not nervous, a little out of place.
Did you have faith in me?
Hell yeah.
Okay,
I mean, I
good.
knew you was gonna kill it. I mean,
Okay.
but when I got it and I start chuckling 2 or 3 lines in, I said, okay, this is gonna be great. If y'all don't know that song that we're talking about,
To tell you,
it's
it
ridiculous.
is ridiculous is a nice
It
word.
shows you how far humanity is tilting down.
So the lyrics are as follows. The chorus is throw that ass, you know you a hoe. Up and down, that booty gon' go. I'm twerking on your baby daddy, he finna lick my booty hole. I'm looking sexy, I'm looking fine. No broke boys can't waste my time. My thong showing, my booty poking, my pussy wet. I need a panty line. I'm not even gonna go into the first verse. I'm just gonna let you pick up with.
So this is just the chorus.
You don't even have to do the chorus. The chorus can come after. You can start with the first verse and then go into it. However
Okay.
you want to do it. You're the boss. I just work here.
So verse one. All right. So
You want me to give you
truth,
verse one?
can I get some proper grammar on that? Yes, you can. Let me do my best D-Boz or radio voice.
Stupid.
Let's see. Let's see. We're going into verse one, right?
Yes.
Hood chick. So you are aware it's drenched. No one has ever told me my lady part is less than subpar. I maneuver male appendage and hurl it back. You are obvious or you are oblivious as to how to approach or utilize it effectively. I'm gonna dance to raise funds as my bills are due. You are cognizant
Hmm.
that I possess that stellar punani. This nanny is snug. He devoured my lower extremities in my high performance Jeep Grand Cherokee. I possess that. I possess that exceptional style in participating in coitus
Coitus.
with Kayla and also Kiki's significant other, Jezebel. I am a professional copulator. Ejaculated in my hater's partner's pharynx. When I get help me out with that one.
Ooh,
Collicual, collateral. COLLOQUIL.
That's still coitus. Just it's
Okay.
the professional coitus.
It's always discreet. Popped my cherry and became promiscuous. My vaginal secretions are embedded in his dreads, and the scent is reminiscent of me. I'm dead.
So
That's fire. Hold on. We still going. We still going. You can attempt to control his contact with me, but my rotund backside is still his edible preference. He covered the cost of my breast augmentation, so understandably, that's why you're upset. I gulp his garden holes like an Olympic gold winner when he pipes Percocet into my glutes. Oh my god! I think we should just keep going. Let's. So the do the chorus.
the chorus, so the chorus is throw that ass, you know you a hoe. Up and down that booty gon' go. I'm twerking on your baby daddy, he finna lick my booty hole. I'm looking sexy, I'm looking fine. No broke boys can't waste my time. My thong showing, my booty poking, my pussy wet. I need a panty line.
Okay. Rapidly jerk that derriere. You are aware you're a Jezebel. Ascend and descend. That's what those cheeks do. I'm gyrating on your children's father, and he's going to lap my anal feet. This is great. Oh my God. I appear alluring. I appear attractive. Penny pinchers can't squander my moment. My minimalistic panties are showing. My lower posterior is pricking. My snatch. That's how you know you wrote this. That's that old woman word for it.
Boy,
That's my snatch is saturated. I require a highly absorbent sanitary napkin. Now we're gonna go into verse two. We
oh
usually
my
don't. We
god.
usually don't do multiple verses,
I
but
hate this song.
this one just has to get it. Give me verse two, Amelia. I need to hear the regular
Oh
version.
Lord. Okay. So here we go. My my booty hole brown, my coochie pink. I ain't never heard that my coochie stink.
Lies.
Oh, this is nasty. My cum clear, your cum green. I'm throwing ass, I'm making a scene. Ratchet hoe, but I feel like Kim Kardashian. My pussy good, that's why a bitch stay pregnant. I swallow nut. I really feel like an elephant. Tell Joe Biden I want to suck on the president. Real niggas love ratchet bitches. Y'all ain't killing my man, so I went and bought him switches. We got matching Glocks with a 30. He finna beat this coochie up and do a bitch dirty. Bitches Friday, I want a perky. Make my nigga mad just so he can murk me.
Proper grammar to verse two would be as follows. I'm chucking cheeks, creating a commotion, classless and of no morale, synonymous to that of Kim Kardashian. My flower is flavorful. That's why I consistently find myself expecting. I devour dick paws, gravy, like dressing on Thanksgiving. Notify Joe Biden I would appreciate the opportunity to engage in fellatio with the commander in chief. True men appreciate women who embrace their authentic selves, regardless of social or societal expectations. You're not gonna hurt my man, so I took it upon myself to give him support. We have his and hers Glock 30s. He is preparing to demolish the labyrinth within my labia and treat me poor. AOB, today is Friday, and I would love to acquire Oxycontin intentionally enrage my mate so he can annihilate me. There's our
Listen,
proper grammar for Suckiana and Sexy Red.
you gotta be like, hey, yo, B!
What's the name of this song?
Scratch. Gave me this
That
song.
pretty much explains it all, man.
To ask, of all the songs in the world, why did you choose this one?
I literally like when I watched the music. Did you watch the video to it?
No, we couldn't even get past the song.
If it wouldn't fuck up our monetization, I would say put
Yeah,
it
don't
on
do
right
that
now.
shit.
But it is literally like when I seen this shit, I said, Lord Jesus, if one of my daughters ever even attempts to even lightly tread these waters, I'm going. It will be an ass whooping to the point where just literally I would hit him with a can of nine tails like Jesus got hit with. That's how bad it would be. I literally lost faith in humanity watching this music video. I definitely lost my faith in, like, not in women, but it's just like, come on, bitch. Do you not have any kind of fucking dignity or self respect or anything? And I know a lot of people have their dirty thoughts, like we all do, right? But come on, like, you gonna really just blast yourself out like that? How you gonna explain that shit if you ever do calm down to your future kids? Like, you're
Sexy Red has children.
that's even worse. So how do we think that her kids is gonna grow up with a role model like her?
That's how they're gonna learn their colors. Coochie's pink, booty hole prom. I
I don't
mean,
know what she was talking about. Some shit was green, liquid was
she
green. I said,
said
"Whew."
her cum. Like that's,
Isn't like green mean you got gonorrhea or some
I
shit
mean,
like
you
that? The fact that she would even,
clapping.
boy, listen, that's the one and only time, and I mean ever, you will
Really?
ever see a proper grammar done
Do
on them.
you promise?
I swear. I thought that song was so
When
ridiculous.
you gave it to me and I went and I looked up lyrics, I said, I know you lying. And
Say,
so as I'm looking at it and I'm writing, I said, I gotta hear this. So I clicked the button and then it started playing. My youngest son, he walked in, he turned around and walked right back out.
right, boy, he said, what
And
the fuck is this?
if you say any like body part or anything like that, he gonna leave the room anyway.
Said,
But
oh, not my
I
convo.
wasn't ready. And I said, this is some nasty shit.
The thing with me is sexy red annoys me the most because it's just like, I get it if that's your character, right? This could be like WWE and that's her character.
Hmm.
Cool, I get it. Maximize your funds. But don't do all the extra stupid shit. Like the fact that she's literally trying to force herself into middle schools and shit to be some type of motivational, bro.
Huh?
You listen, you got flea bags and women. You're not a woman, you're a flea bag. So just play that role and keep collecting your funds. But when you go and try to do extra shit like try to appear on college campuses. She tried to get back into the same junior high she went to, want to be a motivational speaker. They're like, fuck no. So she just snuck onto campus and fucking does all this shit live. And I was like, listen, if this was a man, if this was a man,
He'd be like that.
he'd be locked up just for coming on that campus. You know what I mean? But I don't like her vibe.
And
It's
what was
like
she gonna tell him when she got there?
I think the thing was that she was banging her music in the parking lot and got all these 12, 13-year olds fucking popping ass and shit in the parking lot with her. And I'm just like, listen, there's a time and a place for that type of energy. I'm not somebody that like want to try to control women or nothing like that. I'm
Hmm.
saying a woman can do whatever they want to do, but you don't see us fucking going out there and doing that shit. It's
You
just
hope
like,
not to catch a man
I
twerking
mean,
in the parking lot.
you don't see me trying to do no pictures where I'm sitting on the couch and trying to make sure my pants are as close to my crotch as possible so somebody can get a meat print poppy. Like it's like I feel like even if you go on to Facebook, right, and you look, I see things that just pop up in suggested friends or mutual friends.
Yeah.
And the amount of women that I see looking back at their ass is just like, for me, it's clear that's all you have to offer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like I feel like there's a difference between being proud of your body and just trying to use that as your way to gain attention. You know what I mean?
Sometimes we rush out the house. So if you see someone looking behind them, they're trying to make sure that it's still there. They may have, you know.
I hear excuses right now, Amelia. I hear excuses. I'm just
I
saying,
couldn't help
my
myself.
wife, look, my
I
wife have
couldn't help
never
myself.
posted a picture like that. I ain't never seen you post a picture. Any woman I respect, I never see that kind of look, if you're trying to show off your body, there's a way to do it.
Yeah.
You go on a vacation, you're in Florida, you take a picture in your swimsuit. Like people get the eye candy, but without looking at you like a piece of shit. Because and that's what I be trying to. I wish that the women would understand this. When you choose that route for attention,
Hmm.
every motherfucking message you get, a nigga just want to fuck and bounce. I promise you. There's nobody looking at you as a future wife.
Mm-mm.
Like I'll tell you something that attracted me to my wife was one, there was no pictures like that on her Facebook at all. Two, the things that were on there was family shit. Her being progressive in her life, in her career. That's all attractive things. You know what I mean? Like I don't never, even when I was single, I mean, I never really looked at pictures like that and start drooling over a bitch. I just say, man, if you're willing to put this much out for strangers, then you probably got that green liquid that Sexy Red was talking about. But that's
Well,
just
she has
my
a
opinion.
different kind of issue, but you know.
But it's just my opinion. I'm real traditional on. I don't want to sound like the dude that want all women to wear fucking scarves around their head and shit like that. I think that's insecure. You know what I mean? But I just feel like, for me, if I couldn't respect my wife, I damn sure couldn't carry her around on my arm in front of people I do respect. So like I gotta respect you first as a woman and how you move to want anything else with you. And I feel like a lot of these girls, man, you see their whole lives, they're bouncing from dick to dick, like George from the Jungle on fucking Vines. Like they can never find nobody because look at how you started off. Like now, imagine after all the things Sexy Red has said, you tell me one reason any man on the face of this earth should ever wipe that
It's
down.
gonna be Drake.
Drake's a crackhead, boy. When I started seeing all that dick riding Drake was doing for her, I was like, but I think Drake, it was a business move. He seen she was about to pop no matter what. So he says, let me be the only nigga that's not hating on her. But I promise you, Drake feels the same way. I bet you she couldn't get Drake to go down for 300 million cash. You know what I
Oh
mean?
shit.
He know
She
that's the
said
land
Drake
of the
was
lost down there.
not the
You know what I
land.
mean? That's the bog of eternal stench down there. You know what I mean? Say for fucking labyrinth, bro. Yeah.
Listen, I do have a question for you because you brought up a kind of good point. Um, so understanding that there's two sides to everything. You've never looked at a Playboy magazine or Jugs magazine or anything like that?
When I was a kid, yeah.
But were you looking to marry them or were you it was simply for the fact of looking and seeing, right?
No, it was for fucking, choking the
You
chicken.
mean
Good old
that too. You
Sylvester.
know
You
what
know
I'm
what I mean?
saying?
Like
It
you're
served a purpose.
for that age, any kid that age, their hormones are off the fucking chain. Now,
So
once I balanced out, like I've never been somebody that just whether I'm single or together, like I've never been somebody that just sit there and like I'm that nigga that just I have homeboys that be telling me about this problem is like they cannot get off porn. Like they is on that shit all the
Pornhub,
time.
Twitter after dark,
I
all of that.
I have no interest. Like for me, it's like, yo, that's uh it's futile. Like, you know what I mean?
No, that's
It's
not your audience, but it's other people's audience. You just have to figure out who
I look at
wants it.
myself I guess I'm a little bit a hater when it comes to the point where I look there's this girl that was a OnlyFans chick. This chick's a nobody. She wasn't a celebrity.
Hmm.
And just off of her OnlyFans, she generated like 30 million in a year. And I said, that shit should be illegal. While motherfuckers out there breaking their goddamn backs, all this chick gotta do is get in front of that camera.
She was out there breaking records.
Boy, and then they not
Maybe
even
she was getting broke. You know,
man, I didn't subscribe, so I wouldn't know. But I really blame men for this shit because
women partake too.
these are the worst kind of niggas I hate. If you got a motherfucking thread going of a bitch that done showing something, right? And they're all there. Oh, I hate when it be the lame Indian niggas too that be on there.
You
Oh,
just don't like
baby,
to
you look
say
beautiful,
that.
baby. Like, think you writing that shit's gonna get you, nigga. They don't even like your shit. They not. You just look like a clown ass bitch. Like, and you're just
No,
one. You're one of 400. There's already four. It's not like you even got to the
but
party
you may
early.
be the one.
No, there's no such thing. These hoes just sit there and treat niggas like Pokemon cards. Like, ooh, another comment, gotta catch them all. Like, I look at it like, why do you gotta be as a man the 400th nigga to sit here and compliment this bitch when you look at the chick face and she probably a 4 out of 10.
The
She
fourth
just got a
member
big
time
ass.
is a
So
charm.
now you gassing her. There's so many cats that are like mid-level scumbags that would be fucking that. That's their food. But because you done glorified this basic bitch all the way to the high heavens, now they definitely never gonna be able to hit.
All I heard is that somebody wanted to pay for their dinner. That's what I just heard you say.
As a man, if you're gonna glorify basic bitch into the
Hmm.
high heavens, just remember that same basic bitch. If y'all would not, if she only had two comments on that picture,
Hmm.
she would be fucking Reggie from around the corner, and Reggie would be happy because nobody's pumping her head up, and she's staying in her level where she belongs at, mid range.
Very, very
She's a six,
interesting.
so she's fucking with a nigga that's a five or a six. But when you boost their ego so fucking high, Now you get to the point where they ain't gotta smash nobody.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah, so but I don't know. I really think that I've always been that way. I don't know why it is. Like a lot of people say like I'm over compulsive about it. It's like, damn, bro, why do you care so much? And the only answer I have is because I have daughters. I have
Mm,
daughters that, if they choose to receive that kind of music and actions, and my goal is for them not to be like that. You know what I mean? And for people to say, oh, let them be themselves. Okay, well, if your son's a heroin addict, you gonna let him be himself? Or are you gonna instill your values into that child and hope for the best? But you're not gonna just lead them into the fucking flames, you
mm.
know? I show Cheyenne videos, like not full videos of Sexy Red. I just show her and say, you see this? That's a flea bag. Nobody respects her, and she'll never walk down the white aisle. Nobody's gonna ever commit to her.
You do
And I
know
leave
that.
it at that.
Yeah, I know that.
Boy, listen,
But heroin is a hell of a drug.
man,
Ooh,
worse than
lovely.
cocaine, they say.
So, I mean, that's what I heard. I don't know firsthand.
A little bit. Not of that tar though, boy. We don't. Hey, listen, we don't do that shit.
Tell you
We
what,
ain't never done
moving
that
right
shit.
along. The star of the show today, we are actually going to have our legendary interview. And usually this is where you would interview, someone who comes in. But today, we get to interview
I love
our
it.
legendary interview. The last interview of 2025 is none other than Mr. Raw Truth himself.
Glad to be here with you, Amelia. Glad to be here.
Oh, thank you for having me. And I'm very glad that you're here and that we're going to definitely get this going.
I'm excited. I never had any plans ever to do any kind of interview segment with me at all, but shit, man, I've had people over the years, tell me they're like, well, what do you do it for if not for the flowers? And if you don't never have a documentary about you or whatever, like you should do an interview for yourself on your
Mhm.
own platform, and with somebody you trust, and you know what I mean, like catch people up that don't know who you is and how you
It's
got here.
also a way to introduce yourself and also market yourself because you are a brand.
Appreciate you.
So let's go with that. Earlier, when we were speaking about raw politics and you went down this rabbit hole, you were speaking a lot of raw truths. Those are the things that you were seeking. I would love to know because I know you by your government name, but everyone else knows you as Raw Truth. And I would love to know where that name originated from.
Man, so it's a funny story. So like I have so many nicknames. Like if you knew me as a kid, you would have known me as JJ. When I went to prison, uh I joke, I kid. You know what I mean? It's my thing. Yeah.
Take it
You
easy.
say no, so you
Take it
say
easy. Gotcha.
take it easy. So I was somebody that wanted to do my time with by laughing. Like I was so depressed in there, and I noticed that I would say funny shit and people would really enjoy the shit. And there's a guy named William Kitchens. Everybody called him Mookie, and he was from San Antonio. And one day he was like, "Man, I don't like JJ as a name, bro. Like we locked up. You need something better than that." And he was like, "You be making me joke, dog." And he's like, "That's it, joke dog." So then he started calling me joke dog. I didn't like joke dog. It was like too long. So I ended up just telling people I'm J Dog, joke dog, J Dog.
I do know J Dog.
Yeah, and so I mean, I got that shit, on my chest. I had that actually picked right there by an Indian nigga at Beto One unit, and
Not
it survived
Beto.
over like 20 years. So J Dog was like, I love that name. I felt like it's savage, it fits me, it's ruthless. My name's Jonathan, and anybody that knows about former gang affiliations, Bloods refer to themselves as dogs, Damus, so J Dog, you know what I mean, is what it was for at that time. And I was going down that route like when I first come home and as my music career started. But there's another J Dog out of Houston
Mhm.
who's real big too. And I kind of just got, and we knew each other too, and we were cool, and we used to joke about that shit. How his fans would look up shit looking for him and find me, and my fans would look up me and find him. And I hated that because when I would release projects, you know what I mean, it was almost like a made you look type of thing. So I was like, I'm just gonna change my name. But I was like, I don't know what to change it to. Like, this is like a fresh slate. What would I call myself? Like, I'm J Dog. I don't know nothing else but being J Dog. So didn't want to change it also because by that time I really had my feet deep into the music scene out here. And I felt like changing my name could kill my career. You know what I mean? It's too
Mm-hmm.
many people that know me as that. And really didn't want to do it. And then shout out to OC Young and King, man. Kimi Shatu on Facebook. We were in a record label that Wait owned back then, and he signed us. I was coming off the majors back down to the indies, and I think OC just was looking for a deal. And we all found ourselves with Wait's audio compulsive disorder music group, and we signed contracts with him. And so we were doing a lot of music together, getting real cool, and being involved on each other's creative process. And I don't remember what song it was, but I came out. He said, "Nigga, that's raw truth right there. Like that shit is raw truth." He said, "Nigga, you is raw truth." And when he said that shit, that was like the only name that I mean, I didn't even think of nothing like that, but I was like, "Damn, raw truth." And I was like, "That is what I do be doing. I never lie in those rhymes." You know what I'm saying? Like I'm one of those people that grew up listening to Nas and shit, and I'm real big on I never want somebody to point me out for something that I'm not really doing. So like even if you look at my song Diamonds that I did with B Hamp right after he did that Ricky Bobby song, and
Mm-hmm.
it was perfect timing. I'm rapping in that song about still whipping around a 98 Lexus ES 300 because I'd rather talk about what reality is, because I ain't got shit to be ashamed of. You know what I mean? It's still a Lexus, bitch. You know how many people ain't got a Lexus? They driving around in a fucking Kia Sophia. My shit was
Absolutely.
more peanut butter leather, screens, all that.
Awesome.
So
That's
that's how I got my
super
name.
awesome. Hmm. Who are the artists that inspired you the most growing up, and how did they influence your sound?
So this might like shock a lot of people, but I really came up on 80s rock, um, like primarily like Def Leppard, Journey, Foreigner. Um, and that's where I fell in love with or came up with like, man, I would love to write a song like this, a ballad like this, like just in the and in rock music, their
Mm-hmm.
bars, they're doing 8 bar verses, 4 bar verses even sometimes. So they gotta say a lot in a little bit. You know what I mean? So the fact that those songs could make me feel some type of way, really primarily Def Leppard. Like my mom put me on to Def Leppard. Like if y'all could see, I know y'all can't, but I got Def Leppard shit everywhere. Uh, and what I liked about them, why I looked up to them, is because they were 18, 19 years old when they started and put out an album that's like diamond now. They started off real young. They were hungry. They got in there and they tore after it. And I just love the melodies and the ballads they would make. The crazy thing was I didn't even fall in love with rap until I was like 13. So like I'm a late bloomer to hip hop even as a genre. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't never listen to rap. I always listened to from Def Leppard, it started going into Metallica. I fell in love with Metallica, and that was all I listened to all the time was Metallica, Metallica, Metallica. And then I heard Can We Talk by Tevin Campbell,
Yeah.
and that was it. Yeah, I put everything else to the side and I said, yo, these are complete 16 bar verses. A lot of these songs are, and the beats always are just R&B beats. I fell in love with R&B as a genre. Just, I mean, to a ridiculous point. Problem was, I'm not a singer, so then the option became, well, if I'm gonna write songs, I mean, I can't write them in this singing style. So how else can I do it? And uh, I still didn't even decide at that point like that I wanted to rap. And this is funny because he's probably watching it right now. My stepdad, Miller, he was a maintenance man for apartment complex,
Mhm.
and he would always go dumpster diving, like not literally diving in the dumpster, but he had an eye for shit. Like, he's the one cleaning out all these apartments when people leave, so he has an idea of what he's throwing away. Uh, and he come home with a box of CDs one day that was like the size of that fucking coffee table. It was huge, and there was at least 100 CDs in there. And so he's combing through these CDs,
Mhm.
he's pulling out ones, putting them to the side, and then he pulls out like 3 or 4 CDs, and he was like, "Yo, Johnny, you like rap, don't you?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." You know what I mean? What you got? And so he handed me 3 or 4 CDs, and one of them was Master P's Ghetto Dope. Man, one of them was Nas's It Was Written,
Ooh.
and then I can't remember what the third one was, but then it was All Eyes on Me at the very back. And I looked at that bitch and I was just like, oh man, that's Tupac. Yeah, I know who Tupac is, but I'm just looking at the artwork and shit. And it was a double disc. And I was just like, hmm. And I had never listened to Tupac before. I just knew I seen him on MTV and shit. Uh, so this was probably like right around the time it was before Hit 'Em Up came out. So he was still alive and Biggie was both still alive. Oh, that was the other CD, Life After Death or whatever that Biggie CD came out
Okay.
with. So it was my first exposure is literally Master P's Ghetto Dope, Biggie's Life After Death, um, All Eyes on Me, and what was the other one? Nas's It Was
It was
Written.
written.
So I literally just got hit with the best shit imaginable. So I was just really only interested in the Tupac CDs. Threw that bitch on. I'm kind of going through, and I was just like, God damn. I remember listening to when it got to Troublesome, 96. That one where the la da 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 da. Nigga, I'm troublesome. When I heard that beat, and then the dude was like, the blind stares of a million pairs of eyes, looking hard but won't realize that they will never see the P. And once those synths hit that, won't dun 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 dun. Dun. I literally fell in love with hip hop. Like the moment I heard that synth hit, I said, oh wow, where the fuck have I been at? And then I just listened to All Eyes on Me on repeat, and I literally fell in love with Tupac's music in like a day. And probably spent like the next couple months going to Sam Goody and fucking stuffing the shirts and stuffing the CDs and the
That's
shirts and
what's up.
shit. Yeah, but Tupac was definitely, like, I would say, definitely early on it was Tupac for me. But then once I really started digging into Nas's catalog, that's when I was like, I want this kind of respect that Nas has. Like, and I would read stories in the Source magazine too about like how Tupac during the beef when he was dissing Nas had a meeting with Nas in New York, and Nas pulled up on Pac with like I think like 100 fucking Goonies, right? And comes up to him. It's like the way that Nas handled war, like how Tupac gonna handle it.
Mhm.
Nas just comes up to him and basically it's like, why do you say these things about me, brother? You know what I mean? Like, but it was funny because even Snoop was like, yo, like Nas gave us a pass that day. Like we would have never made it out of Central Park if not Nas just willing for us to make it out. Cause and then of course Tupac was being himself, like he wasn't backing down either. But Nas was more hitting him with like, "Yo, brother, stop speaking about me in this way.
Mm.
I don't have nothing to do with this shit." But he's also showing him, like, nigga, if you get out of pocket too bad right here, I'll show you how bad you've upset me. You know what I'm saying? And so Pac, I feel like Pac deep down definitely respected Nas, and I feel like Nas definitely had more power than Tupac did at that time,
Definitely.
and that's what I liked. I said, I want to be respected like that. And then I look at his music and how Nas is never dramatic. He's never messy. He's just real consistent on living up to your potential as a person. You know what I mean? And I always like that shit. So that's how those are my main influences.
Okay. Thank you for that.
Mhm.
So, how have your life experiences, including your time incarcerated, how has that impacted not only your music but also the message that you put out?
I feel like early on, like when I first got out of prison, like I was on a mission to like make any motherfucker that ever doubted me, family, non-family, just anybody that ever doubted me or just thought I was not gonna be shit. Like I was like, all you motherfuckers gotta eat shit. Every one of y'all gotta eat shit. I won't stop until I'm more important than all of y'all. Like to where I'm the conversation in the barbershop type of shit. You know what I mean? That's what I wanted. And so all of those years was literally fueled by just like anger. So that if you go back and look and listen to all that J Dog, all the albums that were titled with J Dog on there,
Mhm.
I mean, every single one of those songs was like Tupac hit him up. No love songs, no nothing. It was just how quick can I crack your brain? How quick can I crack your cranium and act the ass on you? So they were all like, just. I look back at that shit now and I'm just like, God damn, boy, that shit's annoying. Like, you know what I mean? Like, man, bro, that shit was so negative. And I went through so many wars and rap beefs and just, shit where there was times when I really thought I was gonna have to like off somebody or that it might be coming my way eventually. But I didn't give a fuck. Like I literally was like, if I do, then I win in the end because you're gonna be talking about me for the next 30 years out here.
Oh wow.
Same way they are about, but it's an accurate statement. You look at Mo 3, they're never gonna forget him. You know what I mean? Like, do I want to die for music? Fuck no. But it's like if you do, it's like a consolation prize. You know what I mean? So, uh, but once I started listening to more conscious shit and wanting to, like you were asking in there, like the message, like what am I really here to do? Because it got to a point where all I ever wanted to do was like be top dog in Arlington. And hell, I think I still am. You know what I mean? In my opinion, not a lot of people from my city have been able to accomplish what I've accomplished, like on that level. You know what I mean? Uh, so that was all I ever wanted was just to be like the king of the ag type of shit. But then you get to that point, and then you're like, well, what do I do now? Because it's just as far as I ever saw myself going.
Right.
And then, because I never really believed in myself to the point where I could be like, fuck being the king of the city. I'm trying to be the king of the US. I never thought I was that good. You know what I mean? So I never really had that kind of aspiration. So then I was like, well, shit, King of Texas next. You know what I mean? And I don't think I never got there, but
You still working on it?
still working on it. I think now it's where I'm at with music in my career. Now I'm focused on putting out a quality product. I do the most shit talking about mumble rappers and niggas just talking to talk, and it just I'm like, bro, you're not changing nothing. Like your music's worthless. And that's what I'm saying. I have to remind myself, so was mine for a very long time. It's just you grow up. You know what I mean? You grow up and you like, well, if I'm gonna be doing this and wasting my time in the studio forever, like, why should it be always negative? Like, what am I gonna do to proud shit that my kids can listen to if they become unmotivated? I want to have a motivational song in there. And I kind of just, really started going down that woke path from Twilight Zone into 33 into Rap Thanos. I feel like Rap Thanos is just the most balanced album I ever did. Like it's got some of that old J Dog shit in there, but it's got some real just good love songs, good motivational shit. It's definitely like the best album I ever did. So that's where I'm at now. And like the message that I want to do is just against ignorance. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Anything that's against ignorance, I'm really like trying to kind of become a gang interventionalist now, uh which and I'm probably going to be taking these classes soon to be a drug counselor. So a lot of people, if you know this show was kind of built on Amelia's back, my back, and Blurry Vision's back, and Angie's back. But Blurry was like kind of the one that really saved the show when it needed it the most. And he passed away from those kind of circumstances. And I just kind of feel like I've lost so many people from drugs specifically that I like hate drugs. I hate hardcore drugs now. I've partied, I've used them, but you don't look at them from a place like that until you start losing people and you see how preventable it all was. So that's kind of I want my music to reflect how I'm moving in real life with the pushing people away from gang shit, pushing people away like I feel like I'm still in the age group and I'm still with everything I've accomplished. I'm still looked at by younger people and I can influence them. So I try to influence them away from the dumb shit that I was doing at their age. Definitely
The dumb shit.
the dumb
Okay.
shit.
Hip hop's dead. I'm not. That is such an interesting
Man, that's
detail.
I love that album. That album was the only album I put out under Capitol Records, and that one was it was a long album too. It was like 20 songs of just fucking heat, and that was all J Dog type of shit right there. But that's where you started seeing glimmers of something more was on that album. Like a lot of good songs on there. You know, I had Beat King on that album. I had Janae Aiko before she got big. She was my label mate at Capitol. I had her on a song. Um, but I didn't have like a lot of main features. I had like Trader Truth, Janae Aiko, just little jewels
Yeah.
throughout that album. And that was just a real good album. And I hustled so hard on that album. Like I was literally on a tour bus recording, moving around all over the place, doing shows. I was going to San Antonio like every other weekend because San Antonio just I don't know why I popped down there, but for whatever reason, like I always will fuck with San Antonio because I literally went down there one time. I spent the last money I had. I had either gotten fired or quit a job. Spent that last paycheck to press up CDs. Didn't know where to go. And I just said, fuck it. I always want to go to San Antonio. So me, A Rick, a couple of my other peoples, that was they were down to their last too. Like I think they put in some of their last money. We were all about to lose the place we were living in. And we are like, fuck it, we need to make $1,000 this weekend and shit. This album go hard. Everybody agreed. Press this motherfucker up and see what happens. We went down to San Antonio one weekend. I ended up saving this dude. He was like looking like a Mortal Kombat character like that in front of a fucking urinal, and he was about to go face first into it. The dude looked like he was made of money, like Gucci fucking watch, scarf, just
Hmm.
I knew he was made of money, which isn't why I saved him from hitting his head. It was just something I noticed. But I stopped him from going face first in the urinal. I was like, yo, come on, man, toughen up, bro. Like, bro, you and I remember telling him, I'm like, yo, bro, if I would have been somebody else, bro, would went in your shit right now, bro, and took these shoes, everything off your feet. And his name was Money. His name's James Morales, who ended up becoming my very first manager. And I remember he looked at me and he was like, "Man, you ain't got no idea who you just helped out, man. I'm gonna change your life." And then he gave me his phone number and he was, "I'm gonna hit you up tomorrow. Answer my call." And I was like, "Whatever." You know what I mean? So I go, I pay the DJ $200 to let me perform because we are at Cluzo's, which was like a dope ass club in San Antonio back then. So I get on there, perform half the album, and then tell everybody, we're pop trunking right there in the fucking parking lot. Come support a starving artist. And I sold out of those fucking mixtapes. I had 1,200 of them, and I sold out of them hoes in realistically like 20 minutes, maybe 30.
Mm.
So I ended up going home like we had rent, we had everything. Like it was dope. You know what I mean? And then I just would constantly like he ended up calling me the next day. Me and all my boys are in the hotel room. We getting ready to go, and we were all kind of relying on this. Like, yo, this could be big. And he didn't call, and checkout time was coming. I had called him, he didn't answer, and then I just like, oh fuck it, just another nigga, making false promises and shit. I should have known that was coming. And then he calls me out of nowhere. He's like, where you at? Like he knows me and shit. Where you at?
Mhm.
And then he's like, here, I sent your address. Get over here. You know what I mean? Just handling me rough and shit.
But
Eh,
you,
I went. I was more curious than anything, and it ended up going to the 97.9 car show down there in San Antonio, and it was an outdoor show, and there's like 8 to 10,000 fucking people there. And this motherfucker meet me in the parking lot, walks me and my whole team through this fucking crowd and right onto the fucking stage. I mean, he had that kind of fucking
that's
make it
crazy.
happen shit. And yeah, and I performed right there. Like gave the DJ my flash drive, and that album had just dropped, and I had all kinds of fucking promo shit to my media pages. And I remember leaving about that bitch, and I was like, the main thing I was like, why the fuck didn't I have t-shirts, merch? I would have, man, motherfuckers are asking me by the 20, 30, 50, 100 people, yo, let me get a shirt, let me get this, let me get that. And I ain't had no CDs to give either because I had sold them out already.
Mhm.
So um that was when I realized I could do this like as a career, and people will pay to see me, and all I gotta do is just keep on being the big bad wolf with this shit. And I have to be aggressive on this music and just do headbuster music all the time. So But that was where it all really started right there. That was when it got serious.
We're gonna move on to top 5 and 5. I'm gonna ask you a question. You gotta give me your top 5, and you have 5 seconds to give me your top 5. Okay,
Oh,
ready?
damn, boy. I can't get 10?
No.
All right, come on.
You ready? Come on now. Top 5 rappers alive.
Alive. Tech Nine, Puka Leroy, Nas, Eminem, and Crooked Eye.
I was gonna say, guess who can't count? Crooked Eye.
Yeah.
One of those 5, especially Crooked Eye.
Crooked Eye is a fucking fire ass lyricist. Like, I like bars that make me think, and all the Crooked Eyes verses always, it always be some shit I didn't miss, or I miss it at first, and I had to listen to it again, and then I catch some extra shit like a double entendre or something like that in
Mhm.
there. So I mean, and really, you just put me on the spot. I probably could have came up with somebody better than Crooked Eye for that. But Tech
There's
Nine,
no better place to be than on the spot.
right? And Tech Nine, I chose because man, there was a point in time when I thought Tech Nine was the greatest gift to fucking humanity there ever was. Like that dude is for 23 or 24 years straight been the number
Straight.
one independent artist in the world. This nigga gets all of his money, all of his money. He gets all of his streaming,
And he's
all of
worth
his show
every
money.
penny.
And he's worth every penny. I mean, he I think the first Tech Nine out song I ever heard was shout out to my boy Eric Steele, Midwest Choppers. Imagine getting introduced to Tech Nine by hearing Midwest Choppers, and I was like, "Oh my god, this motherfucker fire!" And then I went into a 2 3 year binge of just catching up on all Tech Nine shit. Eminem, just because, man, that motherfucker is. I'm from Detroit, and it's cool seeing somebody, anybody of any race from Detroit do anything, that's involved surviving out of. So, but I mean, he's made a lot of classics, but just more so, I mean, he's got like Shade 45, like he's become like a multi entrepreneur, and he's the greatest selling artist, I'm pretty sure, of all time too. So, even his worst albums went platinum. So, you got to respect that. Um, who else I said? Crooked Eye, Eminem. Oh shit, man, I ain't even put Tupac in there. I mean, fuck, yeah, put Tupac in
No,
there too.
I said 5.
Tupac in place of Crooked Eye.
Damn.
Yeah.
You know what? I can't argue with you. All right, round 2. Top 5 rappers unalive.
Oh, that's why I didn't put Tupac. Never mind. Put Crooked Eye back in there.
Damn.
Yeah. So dead, Tupac, Biggie,
Unalive.
unalive.
Yes, say unalive.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Like if you use the D
That's
word
right.
now. Okay. So Tupac, Biggie, obviously. And give me a little more than 10 seconds because this one's a real important one.
You only
Tupac.
have 5, but I'll give you grace.
So Tupac, Biggie, Nipsey, um, Tupac, Biggie, Nipsey, who else? All the rest is just them. I mean, with all due respect or whatever, just them dumbass mumble rappers that
Well,
got themselves
damn.
whacked talking that shit. Like, I don't really feel like there's nobody else really that was just legendary, rapping wise. I mean, I'm probably missing it, Oh, you could put what's his name was good, the extension, triple extension
X
Tancion or
X
whatever.
X X
He
T
was really
Tacion.
good. So I mean, you could put him in there. Nipsey, Pac, Biggie. Um, that's it, man. I don't got a fifth one. I don't think there was enough people that are dead that were that great, honestly.
I'll go back and reference this at some point, but that's cool. I ain't tripping.
Right.
Not at all. Um, give me your top 5 underrated Metroplex artists, like in Dallas, Fort Worth, Grand Prairie, Arlington, just in the general Metroplex area.
Mm.
Top 5 underrated.
You gotta put Puka Leroy in there because Puka Leroy just has a legendary
So he made
movement.
2 lists.
Huh?
So he made 2 of your
Oh, it ain't
lists.
no secret. I tell people all the time. They get shocked when I say, it's a local nigga that I put in, in the top fives. is because he's really that good, man. Like, especially on the underrated list. I mean, this is somebody that did everything he was supposed to do. He got the song on 106 in Park. He had his own tour bus with his face on it. I mean, he's done so much for shit out here. He just put me on with the last cipher that he did.
I did catch that.
He catches all these young and upcomers and shit too. It ain't just he's just a real humble ass dude. He's just cool as fuck. Like, I don't know how to explain it. I feel like he's just one of my favorite. And then underrated, underrated. So yeah, Puka. I definitely feel like Pat Manson is like stupid underrated. I don't know why, but like, that dude, when it comes to making a fucking song, he could take your song to the next level. You know what I mean? I've done like two songs with him in the whole time I've known him, but each one of those songs were special. Like, there was one called Respect Me. We did a video to that. That was crazy. And then I had him on Cry Little Sister on the Rap Thanos album. That dude just brings a whole another level of pain and trauma to music. You know what I mean? So he's definitely, and especially with like the battle rap shit that he did, like I feel like only because he's not black, he don't get the respect. I feel like if he was black, he would probably everybody would saying he's the best battle rapper, he's this, he's that. And but I feel like there's a lot of people that's just gonna look at him as like, yo, that's white chocolate over there. You know what I mean? So I don't think he really get the flowers he deserves.
Got it.
Um Crips from Agtown, he was in a group called Game Boys. He really remind me of like that old Twisted Do or Die type of shit. He's fucking fire. I definitely got him on the list. And then D Boy the Throaters from Arlington. I don't get impressed much, especially from people that come after me on the music shit.
Hmm.
Uh, I really don't. I'm really stuck up on that aspect. Like, I don't even give a shit. You
It's
came
the
after
fact that
me.
you're
Yeah,
willing to
I
admit
was
that.
all. I was already doing all this shit you trying to do out here, boy. I was doing this shit when it was hard to do out here. I had the tour bus when it was impossible to do out here. So I don't really get impressed by people from my own city very often. But D Boy is like, man, he's got an array of styles. He never stands saying. I got to go watch him perform not too long ago, and I was just like, yo, this dude got it. Whatever it is, he's got it. So D Boy, he's definitely underrated. I don't feel like he's underappreciated or nothing. Like, he's getting love like he should. I just feel like we should get him faster up there to the pinnacle wherever he's supposed to go.
Let's fast track them to the top.
Man, for real. And then
Absolutely.
last one I would say Twisted Black. That motherfucker is gonna forever be underrated. Like, Twisted Black should be running Fort Worth with a fucking iron fist right now. There should be nobody else. Nobody, everybody should be behind Twisted Black right now, like they was in '06 before he got locked up. Nobody's gonna outspit him in Fort Worth on storytelling. And like I said, that's Fort Worth's Nas right there, bro. And y'all are ungrateful. You know what I'm saying? Like, you sitting here gotten this nigga lingering to where I'm looking at him, it looks like he's doing good, but I'm pretty sure, bro, his foot's starting to creep back towards the streets because I don't think he's getting rap money like that. You know what I mean? I know too many people that are mutuals. You know what I'm saying? I know he's collecting something and he's going up slowly, and I think it's got a lot to do with his age. And he just missed a generation. You know what I mean? He missed an entire generation while he was gone. But if you're talking about who's the best, he's probably the best. Definitely the most underrated.
And speaking of local artists, I would like to navigate through Wolfpack.
Mm.
So tell me about Wolfpack and how that all came to be, and who are the members of Wolfpack?
So how that came to be was me, and shout out to my dog Gutter Mook. We had known each other like, man, all of our friends are mutual, and we had known each other for like 4 years but never met. We just be on Facebook airing people out together. I tell this story all the time. Like, literally, you could catch me and this nigga tag teaming anybody at any given time and just embarrassing them, scaring them through online. Just, it was fun. You know what I mean? It was
I know a
hilarious.
situation like
Yeah. So whenever we finally met though, face to face, and we started like, just becoming more friends, I had told him, I was like, man, bro, I mean, we've done it all, man. As solo artists, like we've done it. We've seen this is as far as you can go without going nationwide, bro. This is it. Like we're like on Big X the Plugs level back then when he first popped in DFW. I mean, we've already been there. We've done this already. So now, since we're not catching that next train, you know what I mean, up a level, well, what else can we do to make the impact out here then? And that's when we decided we was gonna put together like a Texas slaughterhouse, like just four niggas that's savage with lyricism. You know what I mean? Metaphors and lyricism, just you know, the groups that you respect, like Slaughterhouse, Wu Tang, like motherfuckers that get on that mic and we also wanted to make sure that um we also wanted to make sure that we didn't just put anybody in. We couldn't have no clowns or no fuck boys or niggas that got world star before. Like it had to be niggas with impeccable records.
Right.
Niggas that the whole world know got hands and can defend themselves. Cats that are rough around the edges and what do you call it? Believable. You know what I'm saying? So then we start saying, okay, us two for sure. You know what I'm saying? And then Mook wanted to put his brother's soup cooler in. I wasn't really big on the idea only because I never met Soup Cooler, and I was like, here we go with the little brother shit. You know what I mean? We just fucking fast tracking niggas in, and this nigga's probably gonna be trash, right? And no, like there's times where I can't tell who go harder, Soup or Mook. You know what I mean? Like they're both crazy. Like I mean, it wouldn't definitely not be the Wolf Pack without Mook putting Soup in with us because Soup's like Shawn Michaels in the group, man. He's like fucking the Heartbreak Kid, like he's awesome. But then I wanted something a little different for the last member. So I know we was like focused on bars, metaphors, experience, reputation. But there's this one cat that I've been fucking with for years named James Rumsey, and everybody knows him as Cocaine
Cocaine
James.
James.
Yeah, James was just somebody that he was like an enigma to me. I would be out. It didn't matter where I was. I could be in Deep Ellum. I could be on 7th Street. I could be anywhere. I would always run into James somewhere. And James always like commanded respect. Like that's one white boy that niggas won't fuck with. Like, and when I see that, me being lighter skinned too, I like that. You know what I mean? I like seeing that there are a couple light skinned people out there that ain't got hoe all over their DNA. So I kind of grew closer to him, got to know him, and I was like, damn, bro, this nigga's got a traumatic life like me. Like we're very similar. And so we got cool. And then once we become friends, it was like any and everything I ever did, he was always there, supporting, supporting, supporting. And I had told him a million times, I'm like, bro, you already have the fan base and you're not even a rapper. Like, what the fuck are you doing? You're wasting your time, bro. Because he would always send me like little
Snippets of music that he
snippets,
did.
like little 8 bars, 6 bars, where
Mm-hmm.
he'd just be going in. And I told him, I remember telling him, I said, man, this shit don't mean nothing. You don't put it fucking down in the lab. This shit's just dry ass, you know, you wasting your time and mine. I mean, you can put it down. And then I kind of feel like I kind of approach James and says, listen, this is a legendary opportunity right here. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody knows you, bro, but who really done fucked with you on this music? Who really done pushed for you to rap? I think you got some greatness in you. You know what I mean? And I think we're gonna get there together. You know what I mean? So we James said he was down. And I mean, James is definitely like the most improved out of the group. Like if you listen to shit James put out in the beginning versus now, it's like, yo, he's totally on all of our levels now in his genre. It's like he's I call him the hook king all the time. Like there's been a couple
He definitely does that.
he knocks down some fire hooks and I like it because he's real non-traditional with how he raps. Like he just has a style and it's perfect. It fits in because everybody's so different. Soup hits you more with like the big words all the time, but he could be talking dirty to you. You know what I mean? Like a proper grammar type of shit. Mook just hits you with just raw, relentless, real nigga shit. Like it's how any Mook's a man's man. So when you listen to Mook's music, you feel that. And then James is just, that poor trailer park, uh, dysfunctional family. I ain't never had shit. So anything I get is amazing. Kind of rhymes. It's like, he's got like songs like, I hate to fucking butcher it. Something like something in a marble, like sunrise in a marble or something. Like the shit he names his songs is just enough for me. I'm like, man, this shit's fire. But yeah, so we all come together, and there was extended members too in the beginning, like Rod T from Game Boys. He was on our very first song, and he was gonna run the Wolfpack shit with us too and be the fifth dude, but he just got too much shit going on. But much love to Rod T because he really definitely got the ball rolling with us. And then um, Easy Money. He's still in the Wolfpack. It's just he then went to the military and stuff. So and then we had this cat named Courtesy in there for a little while, and I saw some shit in him I didn't like. I liked him a lot at first, you know what I'm saying? Like for a long time, I was super cool with him. Like we had some moments together, but man, if I smell any kind of bitch ass shit in you, uh, I'll stop fucking with you and never talk to you again. And that was what happened with Courtesy. So Courtesy situation didn't have nothing to do with nobody else in the wolf pack just being like, yo, you gotta go. That was just me saying, yo, there's an executive player right here, nigga, you out. Yeah, because I can't be in a group with you. You gotta go. So now the wolf pack is kind of it exploded out into something, and now it's settled down into what it was supposed to always be, just the four of us, me, James, Mook, and Soup. And I got them on group chat and shit, and then I'm like, yo, listen, I got these beats. I just sent them out, two fire ones. I'm like, yo, the thing I loved about the Wolfpack, it was like, because we're all so big independently, when we all got together, it's like we didn't even have to work for shit. It's like you just get to pass go and collect the $200 too. And we did so good, like on our oh man, we did the Texas Woodstock Festival. I mean, like we did so good. We fucking packed Haltom Theater out. It didn't look like a fucking ghost land, where motherfuckers are looking around and it's like
Shots
four
fired.
people in it.
Shots
Nah, we
fired.
we packed that bitch the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? And we did shit. And I told him, I'm like, look at the interest, bro. Like we should be constantly popping these hoes out. And I feel like the only reason they didn't is because I feel like I might have been doing too much on my like trying to take too much onto my plate, like me having to do the edits for all the show disc, and I think I got burned out that way, and that I wanted everybody to kind of just do a little bit more, you know what I'm saying, on the administrative side with me. And to be fair, I don't think I never just ever really put that out there to them like I need help. You know what I mean? I can't do this all by myself. And I think just once the album came out, it was fire. Everybody was happy, and then we kind of just drifted. We're like the Rap Justice League. Like we come together whenever you need us. You know what I'm saying? But now where I'm at, I've had more years to grow with them off of the music shit and just support them in their independent projects and them support me on mine. And now I'm to the point where I realize I really love these guys. You know what I'm saying? And I really feel like, man, when we're together, and I've always been somebody who want all the limelight to
Mhm.
myself. You know what I mean? So for me willing to be able to share it and not be fucked up about it is because I'm around some real stiff niggas, you know what I'm saying, that I believe in, that believe in me. And and I don't have to be the superstar in this group. We got James for that. We got Mook for that. We got Soup. Like they're all fucking awesome, legendary cats. So that is the Wolfpack in a nutshell. And how we got the name was I'm big on wrestling.
Mm.
And my favorite group was the Outsiders. That was Kevin Nash, who was Diesel in WWE, and Scott Hall, who was Razor Ramon in WWE.
Mhm.
They left the WWE in a time when nobody at the height of their career leaves WWE, because if you go to WCW, that's just a boneyard for old WWE niggas. They can't hack it no more. So they left and went over there with all them dinosaurs and turned that shit the fuck up. But they did it all on their terms. They went from working 360 days a year for 300,000 to going over here and having to work 100 days a year and getting $2-3 million a year. Those two guys is what changed. I mean, they're the definition of niggas that run their own program. So when they went over there and did that, I was just like, man, bro, I fucking love them, bro. They do what the fuck they want, bro. You're gonna pay me what I say, and you're gonna do it how I say, and y'all don't nobody's skimming off the top. We're the wolf pack. You know what I mean? And that's kind of the NWO, and eventually the NWO split into two, where you had the ones with the black and white and the red and black, and the red and black ones called themselves the wolf pack. I looked at that version of the NWO as like the elite. You know what I mean? That's where you got people tired of Hogan, taking everybody's spotlight, and just Hulk Hogan is just God. He's so annoying at this point. He won't ever put nobody over. He's got to always be the top dog. So when Kevin Nash got tired of that shit, he's like, yo, I ain't working with him no more. So when we write the script, we're gonna break the New World Order in half, and I'm gonna go start my own shit over here where I don't gotta be caught up in this nigga's ego. And when he did, the people that went over there were the elite, the best people that were in the NWO originally go over there with Kevin Nash. And then you got your Red and Black, the Wolf Pack, and then C Murder did the song for them. And I thought this shit was the coolest shit. And Mook did too. Like Mook was huge on it too. So I think we had originally was gonna call ourselves the Outsiders in homage to them, but I think that we found like there's like a rap group or something named the Outsiders already. And or it might have been the Lost Boys or some shit.
Yeah,
But
the Lost Boys.
eventually, yeah. So eventually we're just like, man, I love wolves, like wolves too. And I was just like, man, dog, we just call ourselves the Wolf Pack Music Group. And so we did. And the original thing was we were just gonna do some gimmick songs. Like, since it's the Wolf Pack, we want to be associated with the wrestling Wolf Pack. So we're gonna do a song and we'll call it Kevin Nash. And it'll basically be I'm fly, I'm this, I'm that, as if I was Kevin Nash. And what was cool about the song was everybody knows Diesel, Kevin Nash's history. So as artists, we're hitting them with nothing but metaphors. Like I think I said, uh, so fly like Kevin Nash trying to run past. I don't even remember my verse no more. But I remember saying something like the power bombs to get them stretched out, come fuck with us, get maxed out, like calling out his move sets. I smoked Diesel like Kevin Nash, so he went by Diesel, like you know what I mean. And everybody did that in their verses. Like even Mook said, you know, I'm a volunteer like Tennessee. It's Tennessee for these bricks. Well, a lot of people don't even know Nash started off before he went to WWE as a college basketball player who was really good, and he played for the Tennessee Volunteers. It's Tennessee Volunteers, it's Tennessee for these bricks, and it went like that from there, and we killed that shit so strong. I was like, we got to do the Razor Ramon that one next, and then we'll do one called X Pop. We'll basically do everybody that was in the whole clique NWO shit, but we ended up doing the Kevin Nash one. I throw it out there as a single release. Somehow X Pac gets a hold of this song and floats this bitch to Kevin Nash and was like, yo, bro, motherfuckers out there making songs about us and shit. This shit is hard. And then I get a call. I don't know where my number got put out at or how, but I get a call like 2 a.m. a couple weeks after that song dropped. And it was like, I was like, hello. And he's like, hey, it's Nash. And I was like, what? And I was real irritable. You know how I get like
Yes.
I don't like talking on the phone for a long period of time. I start getting anxiety and shit. So I'm already annoyed. I'm being woke up. I'm like, man, well, who? Nash. And I was like, who's this one name nigga and shit? You know what I mean? Call me 2 3 Nash. He's like, Kevin Nash. And when he said Kevin Nash, I could hear it in his voice. Everything clicked. I was like, oh shit. I jumped out the bed and I get on the phone and I was like, Nash from fucking Kevin Wolfpack Nash? And he's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, listen, man. It was funny. He don't act like it's 2 a.m. He's like, hey, listen, man. Got a hold of that song y'all did. I'm fucking honored. I like it a lot. What are y'all gonna do with that? So I was thinking he was really calling me to try to whine about copyright shit or whatever. And I was like, we gonna push that bitch. Shit. And then he kind of asked, a little bit about the history, how it all come to be. And I just told him we just the rap wolf pack. Like we looked up to y'all as kids and y'all were badasses, did what the fuck y'all want, thrashed who the fuck you want. We are like that in real life though. You know what I mean? So he loved the whole idea. He's like, well, what can I do to assist the project? And I was like, shit, I mean, if you just saying anything, I mean, be in the video, I mean, that'll literally dot the I's and cross the T's. And, it'll give us the cosign we need. And he's like, when you want to do it? And boy, I threw out a fucking date for like a week away. And I was like, I told him, I was like, shit, I was like, man, how much is it going to cost or whatever? And man, it was love. You know what I'm saying? We fucking he was basically like, take care of the get me a ride and shit when I get off the plane and shit, hotel and shit. Man, we gonna make this shit work. And so that was you asked about like nervous. I don't never get really nervous or starstruck. I mean, I've done songs with everybody, Juvie, you know what I'm saying, Trey, everybody. Like I never really got nervous. But when I was on the way to pick that nigga up, I was nervous. Like I was sitting in the fucking lobby like a fanboy and shit. I was like, bro, I'm about to meet fucking Diesel, nigga. Are you kidding me? Diesel, nigga? I'm about to meet Kevin Nash. And it was crazy because I'm just looking, and of course, like on some NWO shit, this motherfucker late as fuck. He right upstairs just making
He
me late.
wasn't late. He was making an entrance.
Making an entrance,
He was
yeah.
waiting for
And
the
he
steam
did too,
music
man.
to
This
start.
motherfucker just popped out of a goddamn hallway down at the end. He just pops out, fucking 7 feet tall, and he come walk up, and I shake his hand, and I'm like, I'm a big. If you've seen me in person, you know I'm big. Like I'm not short. I'm tall and I'm big. But standing next to him, it was like I was eye level with like his fucking chest. I gotta look up at this dude and like shake his hand like this type of shit. And super cool. Like we go back to a little spot that I had in a warehouse district, film fucking legend. The film went the video went legendary.
I remember.
And then it was dope because after he's like, what y'all got good to eat around here? And I was like, Texas, Whataburger, nigga. I told bro,
He
this
never been to
nigga bought, hey,
Whataburger?
say, this nigga ordered two triple meat combos, two of them. And that motherfucker engulfed that shit like a vacuum cleaner. I swear that the burger looked like a bite-sized burger in his hand, like it was like a junior water burger. He takes that bitch gone. Boy, he could have took the fries and just fucking went like that, and the whole goddamn shit went down. But that was when I was just like, because I've done a lot of features with big name people and been around them and shit. Nothing really just tickled my fancy though, but that shit, I spent 2 hours just, asking him every question that I would have ever asked. You know what I mean? And he was real cool and he supported us the whole way. He shared the shit on his Instagram, 18 million views in 3 weeks. I mean, that was the biggest song of all of our career, honestly. Like, not just mine. That was nobody in the Wolfpack can say they did a song that was bigger than that. I mean, it was the biggest song of all of our careers. You know what I mean? Just on his Instagram, it got 18 million views on preview. So, you could add it up worldwide. I think we probably like 20, 30 M's by now
That's crazy.
off one song. And that's what I kept trying to tell them, or even like I try to tell them now when we really trying to kind of wake everybody up and kind of get us all together in the same place at the same time is look, there's something special about us, four of us. There's something special here. Like you're supposed to strike out on your first endeavors as a group. No, we came out and hit a goddamn grand fucking slam and then walked away like y'all walk away from us and just left the game.
That's
And the first album wasn't even like a full album, it was like an EP. And I'm like, yo, we could really fuck some shit up together. And they're the only people on the earth that I really uh I'm cool not being raw truth in that group. Like I don't need it all to be on me. Like I love being in
part of the collective.
a part of the collective and the creative process with them. And it's so easy. You know what I mean? You could stick us four in the studio for 30 minutes and we could pump out 3 or 4 hits. We've done it. So shout out to the Wolfpack, man. I'm hoping we can get this Pack Business album rolling sooner than later.
It's definitely going to happen. So, my my final question to you. I remember
I
the
thought you was
day.
about to do the Amelia's final thought like Jerry
Oh,
Springer.
you're so fun. I'm not like that. I remember the day that I met you. I remember the conversations that were had prior to meeting you, but I do remember the day that I met you. And I mean, there were things that were told to me as far as who you are in the podcast and how I was going to start, but I would like to know and share with everyone else how the Raw Truth podcast came to be. How did you go from just a thought to actually bringing it to fruition?
The main reason, honestly, is because at that time, nobody in the Dallas Fort Worth area, 100%, I did my research. Nobody had a credible podcast. Nobody had a credible podcast. Keywords credible podcast.
Well, you have, Tri-Coastal Radio with D Manuscript. Brush it up like your name
Shouts
titles.
out
That's
to
pretty
Dean,
rare.
but that's not really a podcast in my eyes. That's more of like a some type of a show or something. It's not the Raw Truth show. Like the Raw Truth show is different. Like Dean's is more centered on hip hop only, and that's what people go to it for. I wanted to do something different. Like I wanted to have a more of not even just a podcast. I wanted to have a show that I could grow in segments. I believe like segments are everything. And I always will watch the Joe Rogan experience and be like, why doesn't he break this down into segments? Because I would see he breaks it down into YouTube shorts and they go viral. But I'm like, I like segments. Like any good show, like even The View. I hate every bitch on The View,
Why?
especially Whoopi Goldberg. I wish that hoe would. Oh man, bro, God,
Okay.
God's working on me, bro.
Easy on the name
When I
calling.
when I say like Whoopi Goldberg is the most I, like I'm telling you, like if I hated anybody in the world, it would be Whoopi Goldberg. But I tune in to watch her
Yes.
dumb ass talk because I like the transitions. I like the topics, how they go, and there's a whole screen that comes. That's why we do my show like this.
Okay.
I want there to be a break from just seeing us talk. Like, boom, here's something cool to look at. We're going into something else. So if you don't like every aspect of a show, you can like some things. Like there's a lot of people that don't give a fuck about this show and can't watch it for 10 minutes. But when proper grammar comes on, they're gonna be like, that part's lit,
They're tuned in.
or there's some people that come just to hear what we're gonna talk about on the rumor shit because I wanted my shit to be a place where any artist I come on, I'm gonna ask them hard questions because I don't give a shit if you ask me the hard questions. When I mean hard, I mean really fucking hard. Like if there's some controversy about you, let's get into it. What better place to do it than somebody that's neutral? Somebody that's not gonna try to fucking DJ academics and shit. I'm gonna give you a platform to say your side and your piece, and then you can let people decide how they feel. I really had it like that as a way for people that may have some controversy that they need to air out on their behalf, where they can reach as many people as the people that's talking shit. So I like that aspect of it. I like that I never really had an interest in grooming local artists. Like the little things that I seen, it's like, yeah, people they just bringing on the local artist. Listen, none of them young niggas ever showed me no love or homage, so I don't give a fuck about 'em. I don't give a fuck if they blow up. I don't give a fuck if they blow up. I don't give a fuck if they mumble rap themselves into a grave.
What's harsh?
I'm not that older rapper that's gonna embrace the next generation. It's like if I see something special and we have a special interaction,
Mhm.
then that's different. But I'm not the dude that's gonna conform and change to every generation that changes. No, I'm doing this shit because I like it. Like I
Yeah.
feel like that's the best thing that a rap artist can do is you have to transition, especially at my age. I told people from the beginning, and I meant that shit. I'm not gonna be the 40-year-old rapper. So I got one more year and probably one more project.
Okay.
So when I started doing it, it was I was a couple years out. I still had like 5 years till I was 40. I said I still want to be in the shit though. You know what I mean? I
Mhm.
want to be a part of this local music shit without being a part of it how I have to be now. The beats and the battles and the this and that. I want to still be a part of it, but be able to be so far away from the bullshit that it's fun. So when I did this show, I said, well, I'm not looking for the next. This isn't fucking America's Got Talent. I'm somebody that believes in paying homage. I've done it my whole fucking career. I'm one of the only niggas that have done it their whole career locally. I pay Slim Poke homage every time. I tell everybody there'll be no Agtown without Slim Poke. There'll be no Raw Truth without Slim Poke. I do it with Puka Leroy. I do it with Mr. Pookie. You don't see me glorifying these young niggas. For what? Bro, I literally smoked my first blunt listening to Crook for Life with my people. Like, man, that shit's special to be able to sit next to him and drink his liquor of choice and go deep into him. Man, that shit, that's why I do it. Like, I
No
mean, that
diggity.
shit is awesome to be able to, for me to be able to use the connections I've made in the music shit to where I can just sit Mr. Pookie here, sit Kevin Nash here, sit Trey the Truth here. Didn't I realize that's a gift that I have. Not everybody can do that. You might have your show, but where's your content? You know what I mean? So I always felt like the legendary interviews is something I wanted to do. And the proper grammar is just fucking hilarious. And the rumor report is just some shit I threw in there so that we could kind of compete with like Hot 97 and shit like that, you know? And then the political shit. What do people tell you are two things you never talk about with people you care about? In
Politics.
religion. We don't follow the rules here. And I love it because like even like we could have had this whole 2-hour conversation just about Trump. You don't
But
like
we're
him.
not gonna do that.
You don't like him. I do. Am I like a huge fan? Not really, but
You
I
like him
see more good
enough
in him. I see more good in him than anybody else I
because
know.
I see more bad in him than good.
Right. And that's what I like. People I bring around me nowadays, I don't got yes man around me. Like I don't got dick riders or yes
I
man.
sure don't listen
I
to
got
this.
motherfuckers with opinions and talent around me. So that's what how we got to this whole podcast thing.
Awesome. So before we close this out, I want you to do me a favor really quick. Before I close this out, I want you to tell everyone how they can find you on social media.
So you can find us at the Raw Truth Show on Facebook. You can find me as Jonathan Raw Truth Copert on Facebook. On Instagram, you can find me boy, that's bad when you don't know your own shit and you trying to play it off real quick. Rap Thanos. Yeah, you like that? I had to do something special when they deleted my other account. At RAPTHANOS, Rap Thanos. YouTube, where all the real good shit is, you can look up the Raw Truth Show on there with Angie Akers. They get you to it the fastest, or you can youtube.com/ JDawg Music, JDAWGMUSIK at Gmail.
The raw truth is actually complicated, so make sure you put that in if you want to get to this. As we get ready to say good to everyone and also close out 2024, I would like for you to share with me because this is season 3 and you've had a few episodes underneath the belt. What is one of your most memorable moments in your podcast that you're taking with you into 2024?
I take more of like a message out of it. It's like I've tried this podcast so many times and it seems like it's just cursed by the fucking devil or something. Like, and what I love about it though is it keeps coming back, which is why I know I'm supposed to be doing this. Even like I tell everybody, I'm not smart enough to do this shit on my own. I'm not look at this. You see this that cool shit? I can't do this shit. You see the lighting and like I can't do this shit. I'm not good enough. I wish I could do all this shit by myself, but I can't. But what I love about it is last time and especially this time, I feel like we had a good crew the last time, but now I feel like we have the right crew. You know what I mean? We bring in some people back from before, but I really feel like between me, you, couple other people, you know what I'm saying, that really believe in this shit, that have been a part of it, that knows what it can do. I would say like this is one of my favorite moments just to see this up and looking how it's supposed to look again. Um, seeing seeing that we're doing it, we got better equipment. We don't have a million fucking wires everywhere. You know, we got bougie mics now. Y'all see that? We got bougie mics. We got bougie cameras that look at you when you move type of shit. So I'm glad to be doing it, but I'm glad to be finishing with a few of the people I started it with.
So, what advice do you give to the world going into 2020?
The biggest advice that I could give at 39 years old in a couple days is um get off the internet. I hate to say that in case you're watching the Raw Truth Show, but like get off the internet. Like really just don't give a fuck about what people really think about you on the internet, especially, but really try to like be more involved in your intermediate family because I feel like that's the shit that I lost a lot throughout my career is I never really had the right woman around me. Now I do, and I'm able to really enjoy the family aspect. Like make sure your home is good and everything's rocking, and then all these other things will come to you, and really go into 2025 being a little more selfish than you was in 2024. Don't do everything for every fucking body. None of us are ATMs. None of us are somebody just to call when you need some shit. We done did so much shit for other people. Like, let 2025 be the year you would build yourself up and your family up in your endeavors. Do not be that motherfucker that's answering the call and fucking giving motherfuckers rides everywhere. Like, you've done that for long enough. Now it's time to take care of yourself for this whole year.
Well, thank you very much, Richard. This has been an absolute honor. I was very happy to conduct this interview. I am happy to call you friend, and I am definitely looking forward to 2025.
Get ready, y'all, cause we getting the GoPro soon. We gonna have Amelia jumping off bungee cords and shit. It's going down.
All right, everyone, we are signing out.
Salute.
My hunters are blue and dead, like they came straight out the cemetery. And I like red on the coupe, just like the heart I left way back in February. Haters don't know what to do, they tryna read me, but I'm not the library. I don't just wanna be great, nigga, I wanna be legendary. All of my hunters are blue and dead, like they came straight out the cemetery. And I like red on the coupe, just like the heart